Welcome to another day in Kuala Lumpur, and today is a very special day. Today, I'm on the hunt for lions. Don't worry, I'm not really hunting lions. Since it's Chinese New Year, you can probably guess that I'm on the hunt for lion dances. I am far from an expert when it comes to lion dances, but I read a little bit over the last couple of days, and the basic idea seems to be that there are two types of lion dances, a northern type and a southern, meaning northern China and southern China. The more popular form in Malaysia and in a lot of countries around Southeast Asia is the southern version, because immigrants from southern China brought it with them as they moved to these other countries throughout history. More to the point for me here in Kuala Lumpur is that there seem to be acrobatic lion dances and simple walking around lion dances. So I'm hoping to see an acrobatic form, and this often involves jumping from these high poles, and it's really quite something to see. But there's also just simple walking around lion dances, and that is why I am here at the Central Market. In the old days, when you're hunting for lions, you would use a guide and a gun and tracks, but today we just use the internet and find out when and where the lion dance is taking place. And I found out that at this time today, a kind of walking around lion dance is taking place at the Central Market, and that's why I'm here. You can hear the drums, so let's go check this out. That's where the lion dance is taking place, just inside this doorway. You can hear the drums. The best seats, of course, or the best viewpoints are all inside the market. I have a knack for always finding the absolute worst place to go and the worst place to stand. And I didn't realize that you should go inside the market. I saw it was like a walkabout lion dance. I thought they'd be outside, walking around the market area, that kind of thing. but no, they're inside, and you can't really see much through the doorway, and there's a security guard there stopping everyone from going in. But I got a little bit of footage of it there. That was quite interesting to see. The lion dance has always interested me for a few kind of random, trivial reasons. For one, there are no lions in China, so you have to wonder, how did lions and the lion dance become such a popular part of Chinese culture? And of course, they have dragon dances, and that makes a lot more sense because we associate dragons with China. And a lot of people mistake the lion dance for a dragon dance. And again, that's understandable because the costume they wear doesn't look a whole lot like a lion. You could easily mistake them for dragons or some other kind of mystical creature, But you can tell the difference quite easily because a dragon dance is quite different. There can be like up to 100 people in a dragon dance carrying this long snake-like dragon on poles. And a lion dance usually has 2 people inside a lion costume. Notice I strategically picked this parking lot as a beautiful shooting location. Anyway, another random thing that always struck me as interesting about the lion dance is that they don't really behave like lions. To me, all the behaviors are more like dogs than lions, and that kind of makes sense because the foo dog, I think it's called, is a big part of Chinese culture. You see them outside of temples, guarding the temple, the foo dog. And to me, the lion costumes look a lot like the foo dogs. And they behave like lions. You saw them in there kind of almost like they're wagging their tail. They're being very friendly, running up to people, wanting almost to be petted by them. And the main activity in that lion dance appeared to be the lions crouching down and picking up the mandarin oranges in their mouth and then going out to members of the audience and giving it to them. And this makes a lot of sense when you think about Chinese New Year traditions. Almost all of them are focused on prosperity in the coming year. That's what mandarin oranges represent. And lion dances in general are just meant to be lucky events, wishing prosperity in the new year on everyone who is watching it and enjoying the dance. So when you have a lion picking up a mandarin orange and giving it to you, I have to think that's like a double lucky. So you'll get twice as much money this year. I just watched some of the video that I shot. I watched it in my camera, and I noticed something interesting that I didn't see in person because the camera actually sees better than my eyes do. It was so dark in that doorway, I couldn't actually see anything, but the camera picked it up. And I noticed that those 2 lions were carefully arranging the mandarin oranges in a shape on the ground. And they were doing it quite slowly and having a lot of fun with it. And then when they were done, they both kind of stood back and admired it and shook their heads and wagged their tails. Again, very much like a dog in my opinion. So I'm assuming that shape is very significant. And if I had to guess, that shape is a lucky shape to do with wealth and prosperity for the coming year. That's pretty much what all the Chinese New Year traditions are about. But yeah, I was glad to see that little touch there. So the 2 lions had a task they were trying to complete, and after they finished making their shape with the mandarin oranges, then they started picking them up and giving them out to all the members in the audience. I was really hoping that one of them would come outside the doorway to the crowd of people that are outside in the hot sun, take pity on us and give one of us a lucky mandarin orange, but never did. Well, that was On the Hunt for Lions Part 1, and I think that was pretty successful. I didn't get inside the market, I didn't have a front row seat, but I saw some interesting things with that lion dance. Part 2 is going to take place at a very famous shopping mall called Pavilion, which oddly enough I've never been to. It's in the heart of Bukit Bintang, which is kind of the most popular area for foreigners and tourists to go there. And I've never gone into this mall. It's supposed to be huge and beautiful, somewhat high-end. And according to the internet and their website, they are having a acrobatic lion dance at 6 o'clock. So that's quite a ways away. I've got a couple of hours till then. And and if I'm lucky, I can take in an acrobatic lion dance. It's later in the day now, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm still on the hunt for lions. Next stop is the Pavilion shopping mall, and if everything goes according to plan, I should see an acrobatic lion dance there at 6 o'clock at the main entrance. I'm going to try to be early, find the spot, and get right up close to the performance this time. We'll see what happens. I usually don't have any skill for this. But this particular dance, I imagine, will be on the high poles, and that's something I really wanted to experience. And I've read that the Malaysian lion dance pole acrobatics sets the standard for the world. They're supposed to be the best in the world at this, and the Pavilion should put on a nice show. So I'm really looking forward to this. To get to Pavilion Mall, I'm going to hop back into the MRT. I think I can take the brand new MRT line, the one that I explored before, the Sungai Buloh Kajang line. I only have to go like 3 stops. It takes me right into the heart of Bukit Bintang. I can pop up there, and I should be like 2 blocks away from Pavilion. So let's go check it out. On the hunt for lions. I used my touch and go card again, and I was just thinking another advantage to using this card is if you pay with a token, you have to calculate your full fare in advance and pay it to get the token. So you have to know exactly how much to pay, and you have to calculate it in advance, and you can't change it. With the card, you pay when you exit. So you can just go into the MRT, pop out wherever you want, and it just automatically deducts the fare. A lot easier. And this time I'm going in the opposite direction. I was always heading towards Sungai Buloh, but this time I'm heading towards the Kajang end of this track. And I'm only going 2 stops, past Arseni to Bukit Bintang. Should be there in no time. Then we're going to see this fancy Pavilion Mall. Bukit Bintang. That's where we're going. There's the full length of the fancy new MRT train. I just noticed that the Bukit Bintang station is also named the Pavilion station, so I know for sure I'm going to the right place. Time to find the exit that I need. Got the handy map here. There's Pavilion. If I go out exit D, I should be able to walk straight here. And I think my lion hunting would be successful right here. This is the main entrance to the mall, and I'm told the lion dance is taking place right there at the main entrance. So, a lion hunting we will go. Pintu D, that way. So we're on the right track. I remember the first time I encountered like massive underground interchanges like this was in Seoul, Korea. I went there to teach English a very long time ago. And when I stay above ground moving around, your internal compass stays oriented, so I always knew which way north was, and I could always find my way. But I found when I went into these... Hello.
How are you?
Thank you.
See you soon.
Some friendly holiday makers. And I found that when I went into these huge underground interchanges in Seoul, and I popped up like a groundhog, I was totally disoriented for the longest time. No matter how long I stood there at ground level, I just couldn't get oriented. I had no idea which way north and south was, and I couldn't figure out where to go. But I've gotten a lot better at it over the years, so I stay somewhat oriented now. Even when I come up from underground, I know kind of which way to go. He says that while crossing his fingers. I was so confident, but I'm completely disoriented now that I'm at ground level. Oh, there it is right there. Look at that. Didn't have to worry about it at all. I just look down the street and I can see a pavilion right there. But you can see why you get disoriented. You know, you basically come up from underground and you're in the middle of all these tall buildings. Another big intersection right there, and it just takes a while for your internal clock to get settled and know where to go. But I know where to go. Pavilion, that way. I'm definitely in the right area for enjoying myself. I passed a whole bunch of juice bars, milk tea shops, shawarma outlets. What have we got here? Alamar Express. Oh. Ice cream. Oh, one of these funny guys who constantly won't give you your ice cream until he's good and ready to give it to you. I often wonder if the guys who come here as customers know what they're getting themselves into, or whether it comes as a surprise. He finally got it. And I wonder too whether the employees are kind of tired of doing it. You know? Another customer comes up and they go, I gotta go through this whole routine again. Man, this is a fancy district. Consumer paradise. Shopping malls on all sides of me. This is where all the people are. My neighborhood was completely empty. Nobody was there. They all came here. And that's something else I picked up on with Chinese New Year here. The whole holiday and all the celebrations seem really tightly connected with shopping malls. Like the shopping malls have really taken on the role of becoming the center for the celebrations. You know, every mall is competing to have the best displays, lion dances, all kinds of cultural and arts performances. And I keep saying this a lot, I think, but again, I'll say it kind of makes sense just because it's kind of hot here and shopping malls are nicely air conditioned, so it's a great place to go to, you know, with your family just to stay cool. And at the same time, the Chinese New Year holiday seems a lot about prosperity and wealth for the coming year. And what better place to celebrate that than a shopping mall? It's kind of like the modern temple, isn't it, in a way? And there it is, we're getting closer. And I'm pretty sure this must be where the lion dance takes place. And this is such a crowded area that you definitely have to get here early in order to see the lion dance. I'm here early enough. Will I get there on time? We'll find out. And I noticed that a lot of the really big displays for Chinese New Year are sponsored by large corporations, like this beautiful display is paid for and put together by Maybank. And I think this front entrance display with the lion is sponsored by Lancome. I read on the sign here for the fountain that the hibiscus is the national flower of Malaysia, and the hibiscus is on these bowls, and the three bowls represent the three main cultures of Malaysia. And obviously most of the displays that I've seen like this for Chinese New Year and the ones at the Gardens Mall, they're all specifically designed for selfies, for people to pose for pictures with them. I'm not going to be a dummy this time, and I'm going to go concierge, and I'm going to ask them where the lion dance is taking place. I'm on the hunt. I'm on the lion hunt. Hello. Oh. Can you tell me where the lion dance is going to take place?
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And outside here.
Outside.
Yeah.
6 p.m. and the main entrance,
outside.
right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Are they the ones that go on the tall poles?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, because I was looking for poles. I guess they
Yeah.
set them up later.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Happy New Year.
Oh wow, thank you.
Welcome.
I need luck for this year.
All right.
Thank you. So, schedule hasn't changed. Lion dance is at 6 p.m. and it's taking place outside by that fountain which I thought. The only confusion for me was that there were no poles out there, but I guess they're going to set them up later. And the woman at the concierge desk, she gave me some Chinese New Year presents. Look at this. I think I got a cookie and a mandarin orange. I'm not one to ooh and ah and groan, you know, when I have good food or something, but this is so amazing. I haven't had something like this for a long time. I guess that's the reason. Oh, this is so good. I could live on this. Oh, the escalator is back here. I don't want to miss the lion dance. This is the central courtyard of Pavilion, and I just noticed that they have a display down there where I think you can dress up in traditional clothing and have your picture taken. I don't think I'll do that, but I'm gonna walk down here to take a look around. Still on the lion hunt. The area behind me there is the entrance to Bukit Bintang, and the lion dance is supposed to take place there. And I was really curious because there's no poles of any kind in place, and if I were an acrobat who's going to be jumping from pole to pole in 30 or 40 minutes, I'd want them in place and secure by now, but they're not there yet. But I just noticed that there's a truck over here. The truck is filled with my prey. There they are, the lions. And these are the poles they're going to be setting up. Seems like there isn't enough time to set them up properly and safely, but I guess they've done it before, so they know what they're doing. And I am feeling a little bit of rain, so there's a risk of that too for these poor lion dancers. They must have bolts on the bottom, so wherever they're taking them, there must be ready-made bolting mounts in the stone in the floor here. I haven't seen any though, but I'm gonna follow them. The lion hunter. I'm tracking my prey. very curious how they're going to pull this off, because underneath them there are no mounting points at all. There's no way you're going to get anybody to jump from one of these to the next if they're not secure. So there must be some kind of a framework maybe that they're going to hook them all up together with. And they would have to be the same distance apart for every show exactly, or else all of their routines wouldn't work. They'd have to be very careful about the distance. Here come some guys with some tools. So I think now we're going to secure them in. Oh, now they're leaving again. As you can see, all the platforms for the lion dancers are gone. It started to rain and they packed everything up in their truck. I asked them and they haven't canceled the lion dance. They're going to move it inside the mall, but I couldn't find out where. So the lion hunt continues. Got to go inside and find out where they're going to be. I chatted with a few more people working here at the mall, and they said that even though the acrobatic lion dance has been canceled for outside, they were going to move it inside, but it won't be the acrobatic performance anymore. It'll just be the regular on-the-ground performance. So my lion hunt may be delayed by a couple of days. That's okay. A good lion hunter's got to be patient, I think, because they're also doing a lion dance here on Friday at 6 p.m. So I'll just have to wait my time and come back here on Friday to finish this lion hunt. Well, the lion hunter's being patient. I'll have to come back in a couple of days, stake out my lion dance prey, and hopefully it doesn't rain on Friday. And that's where it was supposed to be taking place, but it's pouring down rain and way too wet and dangerous for them to set up. And just as I left, they started doing a limited version of the lion dance. There, you can see it happening right where I was a few minutes ago. They got away from me again, but I'll be back. I'll be back on Friday. I've jumped ahead in time and it's Friday now, and I'm still on the hunt for lions. I came back to Pavilion because there's supposed to be a lion dance here at 6 p.m. just like last time, and I guess I just got here and guess what's happening? It is raining again. It just started to rain as soon as I got here, so I think they're going to cancel the lion dance again. I'm not very good at this lion hunting business, I have to say. Here we are, right back at the fountain in front of Pavilion. Got the two lions there. And the lion dance is supposed to take place right here in this opening. And it is already soaking wet with huge drops coming down from that dark sky. So we'll just have to see. Whoa, now it's really starting to come down. Time to run for cover. It really feels like I've gone back in time. I'm standing in the exact same spot. These guys in the red are the lion dancers, and that's their truck over there with all of the poles they're supposed to jump on, and all of their costumes, everything is in there. And the rain is coming down. There's still a chance it could happen, but it would have to stop raining soon and dry up really fast. I don't know if you can make it out, but out there it is pouring rain, and I've heard a lot of loud thunder, and that's exactly where the lion dance is supposed to take place. So I don't think there's going to be one today either. So I'm still on the hunt for lions. But just to make up for the lack of a lion dance, I got another Power Builder smoothie. Very unusual for me to have one in a month. Now I've had 2 in 1 week. So I guess I haven't seen a lion dance yet, but there have been good luck for me. I keep getting smoothies. I'm leaving the pavilion in the rain. No lions today. Maybe tomorrow. Back on the hunt tomorrow. Okay, it is now days and days and days later. You know how you can tell? Different shirt. It's a different day because I'm wearing a different shirt. Actually, I only have 2 shirts right now, so I alternate between this one and the blue one that I have. The lion hunt continues. I tried 2 more times. The first time I got the schedule wrong, I read it wrong, I went to a place for a lion dance. There was nothing happening there. I tried again at another place, and it turns out their schedule was wrong. They had it posted on the internet wrong. But today, back to the pavilion, 6 p.m., acrobatic lion dance. Gonna try one more time, and I'm not really sure if it's gonna be successful or not, because look at the sky. Rain clouds. And they've been pretty regular. Something like 6 p.m., it just starts to rain every day. But today, I'm feeling lucky. Feeling lucky. Heading back to Pavilion for an acrobatic lion dance. Everyone be quiet. I don't want to spook the lions. I'm closing in on my prey just in front of Pavilion, and it's not raining yet. There might be a lion dance in the next few minutes. It's a very familiar scene up ahead. There's Pavilion. There's the truck for all the lion dance gear. And I see some red shirts over there, the lion dance performers getting set up. So we have to sneak up on them and hope the rain doesn't show up. This could be the day. This could be my lucky prosperous day for the next year. That's actually one thing I've been wondering about. I've missed so many lion dances. Does that mean I have a whole lot of bad luck piled up? Or does it mean when I finally see one, I get a huge amount of good luck for the new year? I'm hoping that's the case. Some of the mysteries have been solved. I was wondering how they got the distance right, and it looks like they have spacers in between the main platforms, and then they're all connected together. And now this guy is testing whether they're wobbly or not, and they're hammering wedges in the bottom if they're wobbly. If I were these guys, I think I'd want them even more secure than that, but I guess that's the best they can do. Check on the clouds. Definitely rain up there, but I hope it'll stay away for another half an hour. lion hunt was finally successful, though it was kind of a near thing, because one of my many talents is to always stand in the absolute worst spot. I do this without even thinking about it. And in this case, I thought I was in the best possible position. By chance, I was standing in the front of the crowd, kind of midway to the tallest poles they're gonna climb on. It was like the absolute perfect spot, and I couldn't believe I got there. And then right before the lion dance began, all the drummers came out and set up their drums right in front of me, like a foot and a half from me. So, in fact, it was the absolute worst place to stand of all. So I had to leave that spot. I crossed over to another spot, which I thought was okay. Turns out it was right at the corner where everyone who was coming out of the mall turned the corner and tried to fight their way through the crowd. So that was kind of the second worst spot you could possibly stand, because every single person ran right into me, bumped into me, knocked me over. So out of all the possible 300 places you could stand, I stood in the two worst of all. But it did not rain, and the lion dance took place, and I have been showered with prosperity for the coming year. That's a relief. Chinese New Year isn't over yet. There are a few more days left, so I might run into another lion dance in the future, and if I do, I'll enjoy it and hope to gather up some more prosperity for the new year. But just in case I don't, I think I will end my search, my hunt for the lions here, my hunt for the lion dance. I will call it successful, and I'll see you in the next video. The bonus question for the last video was about monorails. I asked you, where was the first fully operational monorail in the United States? Believe it or not, the answer is Disneyland. The first monorail to go into daily operation for passengers was at the Disneyland amusement park in Anaheim, California. It was not only the first monorail in the United States, it was the first monorail in the Western Hemisphere. The bonus question for this video is about the lion dance. The lion dance has been absorbed into the cultures of many countries in Asia. In these countries, such as Japan, Korea, Indonesia, and many others, the lion dance changes and adapts to local traditions. There is even a local lion dance in Tibet. My question is, what is the name of the lion dance in Tibet? Put your answer in the comments below. Answer at the end of the next video. Notice I strategically picked this parking lot as a beautiful shooting location. Anyway. Travel tip 24 is to set your smartphone to automatically back up your photos and videos. This might seem obvious, but I've met lots of people who lost hundreds or even thousands of photos when their phone crashed, was stolen, or a memory card got corrupted. If you have your phone set up to automatically back up your photos, then you never have to worry about it. No matter what happens to your phone, your photos and videos will always be safe. There are multiple ways to back up your photos online. There's Google Photos, of course, and you can use Dropbox. Even Amazon Prime has an app that lets you do this. They all work very well. You just have to choose the one that works best for you. One thing to note is that you might want to set the app to only back up your photos and videos when you are connected to Wi-Fi. If you don't do this, then the backup could happen while you are on your data plan. This can use up a lot of data, and that can get very expensive. It can use up a lot of battery power too, and your phone might die before the end of the day. Another thing to be aware of is that when you're connected to Wi-Fi, these backups can happen very fast. So you might just be fiddling around with your phone, testing settings, taking random photos, and then deleting them right away. But these photos could have been uploaded to the cloud before you even deleted them. So later on, you're looking at your Google Photos library and you see all kinds of photos in there that you don't even remember taking. And these are the photos that got backed up before you even were aware of it. So when you do have this automatic backup set up, you kind of have to be aware of it and know that every single picture you're taking is being sent to the cloud right away. So, like all technology, you have to spend some time to learn how to use it. You have to download the app, sign into your account, study the app and go over the settings and choose the ones that work best for you. But once you do that, you're all set up and you never have to worry about it again. You can go about your trip or your travel adventure around the world, and your smartphone will be quietly working hard in the background, backing your photos up to the internet. You won't even be aware that it's happening, but if your phone crashes or gets stolen, you'll be very glad that it did. So that is travel tip 24 for you. I hope it helps.